Hello and welcome back to St Michael's Hill. Firstly, I need to say a massive thank you to all of my subscribers, old and new. As of this week, you would have maybe seen that I've passed the 1,000 subscriber mark, which is incredible. When I first started, I had a target of 100 and I never thought I'd get there. And I never even considered that I'd get to 1,000. So to hit that number is just mad. And obviously if it keeps growing, great, but this is enough, you know. Like I've never thought this would happen, so yeah, thank you to everyone who's made it happen. As a thank you, I'm going to be offering a kind of gift voucher in a giveaway later on in the video, so stick around and I'll tell you how to win that and exactly what the prize entails. October's been a fairly busy month for me on the layout. There's been quite a few little bits that have been going on, but also some fairly big bits too. So I'm going to basically give you a quick update on those in this video. As many of you have seen, I have built the depot that's behind me now, and October's started to see kind of some of the detailing that was going into making that a little bit more unique and a bit more my own. So I'll take you over to that now. One of the things I've been doing this month is working on a little bit of the detailing that's going to make up the shed. So there's a few things that I picked up from Scale Model Scenery to help me do this. The first of which are these racks that come as basically a flat packed laser cut wood kit. So it's just a case of simply cutting out the sections and then gluing them together. If you have a look at the sprue here, you can see the two leg pieces and then the shelves that make up a top piece there. The cross panel goes on the back to kind of provide the rigidity. I'll quickly show you putting one of those together, but it's a very simple task. I tend to just put everything together with rocket card glue, and it really is a simple piece of kit. The Scale Model Scenery instructions are very, very easy to follow. Once these are built, I just need to give them a quick prime in a grey, and then give them probably a coloured paint. So using acrylics, I'll probably end up giving them a red or maybe even a blue kind of finish. At that point, I can kind of weather them, add some rusting patches or things like that as if they've been around a while. But this is what the kit includes, and it's a very nice addition. As well as that, I've been putting together some fans for kind of ventilation purposes that I'm going to place onto the depot. Again, these are a Scale Model Scenery kit and will be available from the link below. But basically, again, it's just a two-piece kit. So there is a fan piece and a grill that goes on the top. So I just simply painted it up while still on the sprue and cut it out, and then place it together using some rocket card glue. And generally it's a very kind of simple but effective kit. You get three different sizes. I've kind of gone for the medium ones on this, the two that I've done so far. I might look to put some additional ones on at some point, but these are certainly useful for kind of any type of building really. So well worth picking up a set of these, and then you can kind of put them on anything that you please. Another thing I've been doing this month is working or experimenting with some graffiti decals. Fairly happy with how the one on the right's gone on. Where there's no see-through section, it's kind of it looks pretty good. You can see a little bit on this tag here, certainly between the kind of last letter and the little star afterwards. There's a little kind of film where the decal kind of transfer sheet is still a little bit visible. It's probably not too much of a problem and can probably be weathered down, but it comes from where the surface wasn't given a gloss varnish before it went on. So really what I'd need to do is try and find a way to put a gloss varnish on, place the decal on top, and then put the decal fix on top after that. But where there's no kind of see-through area, it's gone on really well. The decal fix has kind of made the kind of transfer a little bit translucent, and so you can kind of see the brick through, which is it's quite nice. So now that that's done, I'll be looking to get some other decals to to go on. The ones that I have left I'm not really a fan of. They look quite basic, so I'll probably avoid those, but I do know that's somewhere I can go to get some more, so I'll probably pick up some of those and then and go from there. Another thing that I've been experimenting with is guttering. So the downpipes I'm quite happy with. They kind of, in terms of size, they're probably about right, and the thickness of the downpipe is quite nice. So that's the sort of look I'm going for. However, the pieces I've bought that are intended to be kind of the gutter under here, they feel a little bit flexible, and I've gone for a kind of half circle, if I can get that into focus. So it's kind of a half circle, but in reality it's probably not quite right. So I might have a look for some more plaster truck that's got a slightly more kind of obvious gutter to it, and then that can go fit in place. But in terms of the downpipes, I'm quite happy. I'll probably make 6 in total, so for each side there'll probably one, then one in the middle, and then one at the other end. So in total they'll fit on like that, and then once that's done, I'll focus on the front, where I'm going to add some additional features, looking to do some lighting, and then some kind of cabling that's associated with all that. Final thing that I'll be looking to do is then roof vents, and once that's all done, I'll be kind of getting there in terms of the exterior detailing that I'm trying to achieve, and I'll be focusing more on the internals, probably with some more scale scenery kits that I've got my eye on. So overall, I'm very happy with how it's come together this month, and I'll be continuing to do more, although with the new layout starting in earnest, probably the pace on the detailing is going to be a little bit slower than I was hoping before. This month I've also been thinking a lot about the track work for the new layout, not only in terms of the plan, which I'm sure some of you would have seen the video last week, but also in terms of the track itself. Now, many of you who've watched my videos before know that I quite like the idea of track spacing, having those sleepers that are kind of a prototypical kind of distance, if at all possible. And I know it's not the perfect solution, and 00 is always going to have compromises, but I do think it offers the most realistic you can get from a 00 out of the box product. And to space my sleepers, I was using this little jig that I made. Now, there's a couple of problems that I have with it. Generally, it's a great little thing, and I'm very glad I did it. It speeds up track spacing and keeps things fairly even. However, because it was handmade from little bits of balsa wood, it's not entirely accurate. As you can see, some of them aren't quite straight, and yeah, it's just a little bit inaccurate sometimes. But it's a lovely kind of concept, and I wanted to kind of see if it could be improved on. So I asked Steve from Railway Laser Lines, who made the shed behind me, if he wouldn't mind having a kind of look at a solution. And he went away and came up with these, which are a pair of sleeper spacers that he's kind of worked on. Now, these are great in that they're far more accurate. The way they've been laser cut means that you're all going to be good. The other thing which is really nice is they're a little bit bigger. I think when I spoke to Steve about it, I told him that mine do kind of 6 or 7 at a time, but it would be great maybe to kind of get a few more. So these have been done so they can fit 8 sleepers in, whereas before I was working with, I think it was 7, so a little bit bigger. Where Steve has kind of taken this on to the next level is by quite cleverly supplying 2 sleeper spacers, so they can be used together or apart to create different ways of using the tool. So I've been playing around with these for a while now, and I found that when initially setting up the track, I'll put them both together, and you can then space the track as such. You can kind of move between them, but generally they're pretty much, when they're together, from the kind of chair to chair on the Pico Code 75 track. So they kind of fit in fairly well there like that. Now, I've also then found that when actually kind of you've done the main part of the spacing and you want to keep things a little bit more accurate at the end, you can place each one over the side of the track like that, and then make sure that they're kind of aligned, and it keeps things nice and straight. One problem I had with this is partly because of the grooves at times not being 100%, but also the way it worked is it was quite difficult to kind of get things very straight. So it's quite a nice little kind of tool. It's quite clever the way it kind of comes and allows you to create a track that's kind of nicely spaced, as you can see on the end there. Here's a little bit of a close-up shot showing you kind of how they fix on, and then if I put them both into the middle, you'll see again they kind of fit very nicely in that gap, pretty much from chair to chair. So they're very, very clever, and certainly takes the one I made and ramps it up a notch in terms of usability and also accuracy. I'm not sure if these are going to be made commercially available. I would hope that they would be. I think as kind of channels like Richard at Everard Junction and people like that who've taken sleeper spacing and kind of made it far more well known, and then people like Mike Buick who've kind of taken their space track and created amazing weathering and all that sort of stuff to make the track look so realistic. I think it's going to become more popular, and this is certainly an easier way to do it. So yeah, I guess keep an eye on the Railway Laser Lines website, and if Steve gets enough interest, I suppose, about these, he might end up making them commercially available. So the real big news this month is that the wood has been delivered for the frames of the layout. I spent a while kind of getting all the sections in kind of relevant order. Each one of these piles represents a frame that is going to be built. Some more here, and then I've actually already got building. So 4 of the frames have now been completed. These are going to be for various sections around the layout. These taller ones here, there's going to be 7 of these that are made up to build the layout. I think this one actually on the floor is the same one. There's going to be a couple of the smaller ones, and whilst at the moment the cat believes that they are climbing frames and interesting things for him to look at, these will actually make up the layout. So in total there's going to be 14 frames that are going to go around the garage. So all along here will be the scenic section, and further around there will be where the town is planned, where the current layout is, and then this section here will all be cleared off for the fiddle yard. In terms of storage, I'm going to be storing a lot of this stuff, all this train stuff and various other bits underneath the layout. I'm also thinking it would be possible to store the current layouts at Michael's Hill on the ground or close to the ground underneath the layout. So should still be able to keep that. Might even give me a chance to kind of light it properly from above as well. So that's something to keep in mind. It's certainly not going anywhere. But yeah, the frames are going together fairly easily, and really pleased with how they are going together. So it's kind of been the big part of my month, really, kind of taking delivery of these, waiting for the tools and all that sort of stuff to do the woodwork, and starting to get these together. So hopefully by next month's layout update I might have all of these frames ready, and then it's a case of inserting legs and going from there. So there you go. As you can see, I've made a fair bit of progress on the baseboards already. I will be bringing you a full video on how those go together and the techniques I'm using and all that sort of stuff. So keep an eye out for that one in the next kind of, I don't know, 3 or 4 weeks. Certainly, hopefully in November that will be with you, but depends on the progress. But generally it's going together pretty well, and hopefully it'll make an interesting video. So then on to the prize draw that we mentioned earlier. And firstly, let's discuss what the prize is. When I did my 500 subscriber video, I bought a gift voucher for £10 at Model Railways Direct, and I think it was a really nice kind of gift. I know it was well received, and ultimately it kind of helped out someone who managed to get some kind of cheaper stuff, helped out a model shop, and generally was kind of suitable for everyone. So it's something I decided to do again. I've been having a lot of help recently off James at DCC Train Automation, with the kind of computer controlled aspect of the new layout, but also the baseboards as well. He's given me so much advice and all that sort of stuff. So I kind of wanted to help him out a little bit and thought, well, why not make it a DCC Train Automation gift voucher? So I approached him and basically said, look, I want to do a £25 gift voucher for my 1,000 subscriber giveaway. And he was like, well, that's great, but look, I'll put another £25 in, we'll make it a £50 voucher. So firstly, a massive thank you to James at DCC Train Automation. Really, he didn't need to do that. He's just being a great guy. Some of you will know him from shows, and some of you won't, but check out his shop. I'll leave the link in the description below, but he's also got a YouTube channel that I will again leave a link to. Go and like it or subscribe to his channel. There's some great stuff on there, especially if you're interested in kind of the electronics and computer control and things like that. But even if you're not, there's plenty in his shop that you'll find interesting, so check it out. And to win this voucher, it's obviously a good amount. It's 50 quid. That's going to get you a fairly long way. And so I kind of want to make it a little bit more, not difficult, but I want to ask a little bit more of you. It's not just a case of dropping a comment in the comment section. I want to try and encourage people to watch other channels and basically find the kind of new YouTubers that they really enjoy. There's lots of people out there with smaller channels who maybe don't get the attention that some of the bigger ones get. And that's something I kind of want to help with. I do want to make it very clear, there's nothing wrong with having a big YouTube channel. Some of the nicest people that I've met in this community are the ones with the biggest channels. It's nothing against those guys, it's just, nearly everyone knows who they are. Some of the smaller channels are great channels too and just need a little bit of love. So what I want you to do to enter this competition is give a shout out on video to a channel. So there are some rules here. So it has the channel you give a shout out to can't be your own. It has to have less than 1,000 subscribers, and that's just the number that I've obviously picked for relevant reasons. It also excludes me, so don't shout out to my channel. And then ideally include it in either a video that you're already doing, so it's a 2-minute kind of piece or something inside of that. It can be longer if you want to, it could be shorter if you want to, but a kind of proper shout out to a channel, why you like them, and pop a link in your description in that video. Or it could be a completely kind of standalone video that is just a shout out to another channel. That would be great too. Once you've made that video and published it on YouTube, drop the link to that video on the comment section of this video, and then that will see you entered as long as you're a subscriber to my channel. So that's all that you need to do. If you do not have a YouTube channel, I still want other people to be able to enter, but I really do want it to be a kind of video-based thing, because that's what YouTube is. That's my 1,000 subscribers watch my videos. I just want to make it around a video. So maybe do a shout out on your Facebook page, and then drop me a link to the post below in the description below. Or any other kind of video platform that you can think of. I will ask, if you do it on Facebook, don't necessarily go and spam all the kind of groups with it. It's just about doing something and letting everyone know that you're a fan of someone else's YouTube channel. So the comment needs to be in my comment section below by the 23rd of November. And then the winner of the £50 voucher will be revealed on my 30th of November update. So gives you about a month to kind of find a channel that you enjoy and basically give it a shout out and pop it in the description below. So that's what I'm going to need from all of you guys. I do understand it's quite a lot to ask of people to spend their time to shout out to another channel, but hopefully you'll want to do that for your own kind of good and the good of that channel, and obviously the prize is a fairly good one too. So hopefully that is okay with everyone. I'll put full kind of rules in the description below, and how that voucher will be delivered and all that sort of stuff. So check out there for the full rules. But basically, need a quick video shouting out a channel with less than 1,000 subscribers, done by the 23rd of November, and then put the link to that video in the comments below, and you'll be entered to win a £50 voucher from DCC Train Automation. £25 of which has been donated from those guys and James at the shop. I guess it would only be fair for me to do one as well. You can maybe use this as a bit of an example, but this footage has been given to me by Jack from Ratting Road. Now, Ratting Road is a layout I came across on Facebook initially with some pictures of this tunnel area from the left-hand side on the bank. And I genuinely thought it was a real kind of live photo to start with, but it was only kind of a little bit afterwards you see that it clearly is a model because it's unfinished. But the footage that you can see here is kind of a real testament to Jack's ability as a modeler. The bank and the track and everything is beautiful. Really, really nice modelling. This footage isn't HD, so probably well worth going over to his channel, hitting a subscribe on that, and having a look at the footage in full HD, and really appreciate all the work that he's done. If you're into your kind of Eastern region kind of class 90s and all that sort of stuff, or intermodal traffic, you'll find a lot on the page that you'll really enjoy. So I'll leave you with some running shots, and please hit subscribe by clicking the I button now, and I'll also leave a link below if that's more your scene. I think that's pretty much it. So thank you. Thank you once again for all the subscribers. Getting to 1,000 is really amazing, and hopefully there'll be more to come. Certainly going to be more videos to come. So I will see you again next week on St Michael's Hill, and I will leave you with some running shots. Thank you very much. Goodbye. Thanks again for joining me today on St Michael's Hill. If you like what you've seen, there's another video on the top left I think you'll enjoy. By all means, please subscribe to the channel by clicking on the icon on the bottom right hand side of the page. It really helps support the channel, and I really appreciate it. Thanks very much, and see you again soon. Bye bye.